here with us on Overdrive. Embarking on a quest to redefine automotive standards, Volkswagen India has shattered records with the Virtus and the Taigun at the Natrax high-speed test track, thereby showcasing performance and endurance. Here's that story. You ask what record? We have it for you.
You already know Volkswagen's cars are fun to drive, they're safe and engineered to a very high degree. But what about dependability? Which is why we are here at the home of endurance testing in India, Natrax, to see exactly how much of these positive attributes you can use day after day, all day with your VW cars.
The Volkswagen Taigun and Virtus have also shown that these attributes haven't been diluted by their Indianness. These cars are made in India for India and have, if anything, gone on to further establish these traits. But Volkswagen India is now pushing the bar as high as it gets by showing that the Taigun and Virtus can be depended on even the most demanding situations.
Now all the cars you see here, they're going to be setting high-speed endurance records. They're going to be running for 24 straight hours on this track at quite high speeds. And we're a part of this too. We're going to be driving this particular Taigun and we're going to be setting some fuel efficiency records with this particular car, which makes us especially excited to be part of this event.
But that's just the start. The Volkswagen Virtus GT, powered by the 1.5-litre TSI, now holds the national record for the most distance covered by a car in 24 hours. This is also the national record for the most distance covered by a sedan in 24 hours. Not just this, the Volkswagen Taigun 1-litre TSI has broken the record for the maximum distance covered by an SUV in 24 hours. Further, the Volkswagen Virtus 1-litre manual broke the record for the most distance covered by a car under 1-litre engine capacity in 24 hours. The numbers are quite something, so here's a moment for you to take it all in. These achievements are especially noteworthy considering the previous record was handily beaten by these cars and was set by something powered by larger, more powerful engines. But why did Volkswagen go to all this trouble to set these records? As for our small part in showing the more frugal side of these impressive Volkswagen cars, it was by helping set the national record for the best fuel efficiency in 24 hours for a turbo petrol engine. The Volkswagen Taigun 1-litre TSI managed 29.8 kmpl while covering 1,305 kilometers. Natrax near Indore is one of the only viable places in India where such record runs can take place. This 11.3 kilometer track is the largest one in Asia, and while the scenery here is always a highlight, you are usually going around it at speeds that don't leave too much time for appreciation. This time it was different, being quite the exercise in restraint. The most urgent bit of getting into the car and buckling in as quickly as I could done, it was all about holding fort.
So it's been very fine, very controlled driving. We've been keeping the speed steady of this Taigun 1-litre at 55 kmph, but it goes a bit more than that. We've been doing 3-hour stints, which means we've had to concentrate really quite hard. And even a small twitch of the foot on the throttle, you notice that the average fuel economy changes over time a little bit, and that really is a cause for anxiety. It's almost nerve-wracking to an extent when you see what's happening, and you really want to get that best figure out of the car. And we've been trying a lot of tricks. For example, I've tried to put it in manual mode. I've tried to make sure it always stays in 5th gear. I've tried to use different parts of the track. We've been asked to keep to the first track because that's the flattest and that's the best for efficiency. So we've been trying various locations, sometimes the first, sometimes the second when you hit the banking, just to get the best mileage out. So on my stint, we managed an average speed about 52 kmph and a top fuel efficiency number, an average fuel efficiency number over nearly 200 kilometers of 31.1 kmpl, which is pretty interesting. It's really quite something when you understand that this is a small 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine with an automatic.
During our sunset stint, we had a widescreen view of the track being washed in blazing orange, the wildlife calming down and the night settling in slightly intimidatingly. But life was made easier with the bright LED lighting in the Taigun, keeping us safe in these conditions where driving isn't the easiest, especially when you have cars blasting past at over 180 kmph in close quarters. It must be said, the underlying theme was one of appreciation of what these cars were achieving. The performance that these cars were able to consistently hold, the confidence they gave the driver to push themselves further, the sheer distance they were covering, and the reliability they showed were the highlights. All in cars that were designed for something far more mundane. Volkswagen set out to push the bar forward, and it's been pushed further enough to rewrite the record books. In this context, here's no one better than Ashish Gupta, brand director, Volkswagen India. Tell us what this means for them.
Yeah, I think, again, as I would say, the durability of Volkswagen needed no proof. I have so many of my friends and customers who have been driving our Polos for, decades now, and the cars are still new as when they bought them. So again, it's a question of putting some numbers behind that durability, that feeling that all of us have numbers associated with them, and that's something again which has come out from this drive today.
But before we wrap up this week's show, let me remind you that Lexus has launched the new generation of the uber luxurious LM350h at 2 to 2.5 crore ex-showroom pan-India. This MPV is being offered with plenty of world as well as Lexus first features. On that note, let's wrap up this week's episode of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through our various social media platforms, and you can follow our latest videos on our YouTube channel as well. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.